Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Saturday, December 25th. So Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to whoever out there is listening and celebrates those particular activities on this day. Regardless of what you believe in, what you're doing, where it is that you're at in the world, I want you to align with the vibration of love. This is a very powerful day for energy harvesting. Of course, the darker force energies have a lot more power on this day than the light forces do, but us light workers are here for a reason. And we have the power, we have the skills to alchemize all the dark force energies into something positive, into something high vibe. And the highest vibe we can get is love. So celebrate yourself, celebrate what it is that you love, who it is that you love, and just find yourself through this day that will likely be an emotional roller coaster, always choosing the highest vibe possible. So we have the moon in Virgo all day, a beautiful connection for this particular day, a grounded energy. Of course, we're in Capricorn season now. We have this beautiful moon in Virgo helping us to pick apart, analyze, and restructure where it is that we definitely need to start putting our own happiness, our own health and wellness before being of service to other people. It's a very grounded day. Many of us, especially light workers who are just uncomfortable in these particular social situations, we're going to have a hard time floating away. We're going to have a hard time disassociating. This earth energy keeps us very present in our physical bodies, in our physical form, and the physical circumstances that comes along with that. Do not find yourself in the state of nervousness and anxiety and restlessness that sometimes the moon in Virgo can create because of its ruler, Mercury, stimulating the mental plane. Yes, there's a lot of perspective changing. Yes, there's going to be a lot of aha moments. But again, I remind you, we are challenged today to always choose the highest vibration, which is always love. If you find yourself in a situation of some not so good vibes, think of the things that make you laugh. Think of the things that make you smile. That in turn will cancel out that negative, lower vibrational energy feeding off of the fears, the doubts, the sadness, the grief, the insecurity within you. And of course, give a little bit of a boost to us light workers out there trying to alchemize the dark forces into light. We have 7 different aspects taking place here today. 5 of them involve the moon. The moon goes ahead and trines Uranus. And let me tell you, this is a beautiful energy because it means that we are aligning to the highest perspective, the highest vision, the highest dream and goal possible. Uranian energy rules the higher intellect. It's where we receive information from the higher realms, downloading us with a vision, with a goal, with an inspiration that we can hold on to in our mental plane and that we can do something about, even if it's a small move here in this physical realm. Yes, the moon in Virgo is highly analytical, definitely processing every single little cue, subtle energy, subtle thought coming into our mental plane and our physical realm. But this Uranian energy wants more for us. It wants us to think long term. So if you find yourself in a situation in this present moment that you'd rather not be in, definitely tap into the higher visualization realms in your mental plane, grasp a goal, grasp a vision for the future, and align every single ounce of energy you have into pouring into that instead of festering into this present moment that you might not be so happy about. Now, the moon is going to bump into Saturn, and let me tell you, this is Saturn Day. Saturn is the ruler of Saturn Day, and again, if you didn't listen to my ascension forecast where I rambled on about the connection between Santa and Satan and Saturnalia and Yule and solstice, you can definitely check that out, or you can choose just to go down the rabbit hole on your own. But basically, this is an outside trigger, likely going to come from some family dynamics, likely going to be a restriction in what it is that we feel we have to do in order to keep up with social norms instead of doing what we want to do, which of course is our individual passion and desire. This is an outside trigger, an activator. This is likely going to make us feel a little bit trapped, a little bit confined, a little bit out of the realm in which we want to be in. This is an uncomfortable aspect. We do feel the weight, the pressure of social responsibilities on our shoulders right now. We're having a hard time recognizing where it is that we could be, because right now, like I said, we have a lot of earth energy. We have a hard time seeing past the current moment, the present moment, the circumstances and the situations that we're in. Mars trines Chiron. This is actually a beautiful energy because Mars, of course, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passions, our desires, and our anger, if we let it. Trining is a beautiful blending of energies, and Chiron is the wounded healer. Let me tell you, a lot of wounds come up to be acknowledged, accepted, and integrated around the holiday season. Many of us bear some very deep wounds around the family situation, the family drama, the generational trauma that we all carry in our DNA. This is a true factor that many of us will have some sort of opportunity in the here and now to heal a certain personal family relationship dynamic that maybe fell off, maybe was disconnected earlier on, that now we're seeing things from a fresh perspective. We have the knowledge and wisdom from our higher selves. We see the soul contract unfolding and playing out as it should. And there's this realization in the here and now that we can take an action outside of our egoic conditioning and pattern, aligning with our higher selves to see the greater plan at play and actually make a change to the frequency, to the vibration in our family dynamic, and hopefully healing some of this generational trauma that many of us light workers and starseeds have been kind of blessed in this physical realm here to kind of resolve some of these issues. Now, Venus conjuncts Pluto, sits next to Pluto. They've been dancing. They've been very close in the cosmos. They are constantly going to be bumping into one another over the course of the next couple of months in order for us to realize what actually makes us happy, what actually brings us a sense of joy, what relationships are worth our time and energy, where it is that we within ourselves need to stop kind of just going through the actions and going through what is expected of us in order to make other people happy and make a huge change in our life in order to put ourselves first. Venus conjunct Pluto, especially with this family situation, is likely going to trigger and activate us to see where it is that maybe we have to change up some old time traditions. Now, we might not be able to do that this year. We don't have enough time to switch up traditions that easily, but we're being triggered and activated, having realizations in our present moment with the family, with the personal relationships, with the power struggles, with the triggers, with the activations on what it is that we will not be doing next year. The moon bumps into Saturn again. This time, it's a much more positive aspect. The moon in Virgo bumping into Saturn in this way is like a huge aha moment in our heart space, in our mental plane, on where it is that, you know what, we aren't going to feel held back. We aren't going to feel unworthy. We're not going to feel like the black sheep. We're not going to feel like we are being kind of suppressed in our own passions and our own desires. We are realizing when working with the power of the Lord of Karma, where it is that we are being activated to make a change, to change the vibration and frequency of the family drama, especially where masculine energy is concerned. Saturn definitely represents the father figure, sometimes the grandfather figure. And because we are in a highly emotional charged state of family situations that many of us just kind of feel uncomfortable in, there's going to be a certain realization in our mental plane and heart space where it is that we're seeing people from a different set of eyes, seeing the soul contracts play out in a different way. And this actually frees us in seeing that, you know what, these tough love life lessons weren't meant to break us down. They were meant to empower us. And we can gain a lot of power from the weaker parts of ourselves and of our family dynamics when we shift our mental plane and perspective. The moon trines Mercury. Mercury, of course, is in Capricorn, thinking very logically, very practically, very long term on how it is that we're going to be strategic and calculated enough to put a step-by-step process into play in order to bring some of these big, grand visions to life. But Mercury also rules over communication. And again, Mercury being in Capricorn, not the most warm and fluffiness of communication styles. We're a little bit cold, a little bit detached, a little bit rigid. And of course, with the moon in Virgo, this is Earth on Earth. But this is a trine, which means that we have a beautiful opportunity here to actually speak our piece, to actually tell our truth, to communicate our thoughts and feelings. And it might not be in the mushy-gushy kind of way that many of us want these heartfelt moments to go, but it's very cut and dry, very matter of fact, very much only worth speaking about if we're actually aligned to that truth, if we actually feel that rawness and authentic energy in our heart space, and it will be very blunt, very down to the point, very detailed on how it is that we're actually thinking and feeling. Lastly, we have the moon sitting across from, opposing Neptune, who is in Pisces. The moon in Virgo is very practical, very logical, very focused on the here and now, very focused on the physical realm. Neptune in Pisces is everything but that. Where the moon in Virgo wants to focus on the smaller details of our day-to-day life and our physical realms, Neptune in Pisces wants us to think the bigger, broader picture. Where there are boundaries and constructs with the Virgo energy, we bust all of that open and are just all connected and all one with this Neptune energy. Now, this might put us at a little bit of a conflict because, again, Earth energy, we're so stuck in the present moment. We're having a hard time seeing past the present moment. We're having a hard time attaching to our intuition because our mental plane, our egoic mental plane, is definitely the one in control as we move throughout this energies. So we might be kind of at odds because the warm, fluffy vibes that we get from aligning to our higher selves and our intuition that gives us the confidence, the faith, the hopefulness that we need in order to kind of, stay high vibe about the future, we're going to have a hard time connecting to that particular aspect. And again, making us feel kind of like we have blinders on and making it very hard to see past this current physical realm, these current physical timelines, storylines, and situations. So overall, guys, it's going to be an up and down kind of day. And that's why I encourage you, doesn't matter what you're facing, doesn't matter the circumstances. We all have a choice on what it is that we're going to focus on. And if nothing else, I just want you to focus on the love, on the happiness, on what makes you just smile. And if that means getting on TikTok or Instagram or something and just watching dog videos to get through the day, by all means do it. This is a day where we have to choose high vibe over those lower dark energy forces that will definitely be looking for our attention.